I was talking fantasy football with my friends the other day.
Two handsome guys.
Well, Josh? Wow. Look who's back. Where the hell have you been? At home, sitting on your asses?
Go away now, Josh.
Actually, my name is Alan. You're a dorky white kid with a Cub Scout bandana on his head.
Bravo.
Echo.
November.
Tango. On.
Football.
What?
What? What? Because I said something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Benties Fantasy Football, and hey, you know what? We've got some great news for you this week.
What's
by the
news,
way, my
Alan?
name is Alan,
And I'm Josh.
and my name is Alan Bentley.
And I'm Josh Worley.
Okay,
I
so
don't know why you did that twice, but
I don't know why I did. That's something different. Anyway, so
I don't know why you do a lot of the things you do.
We've got a major announcement to make last week on our fantasy league that we co-own. We won.
Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, by a big margin, too.
We're going to Disneyland. Actually,
Yes.
we're not, but
Yeah.
I wish.
We'll talk more about that in just a little bit, but I want to jump into the beers. I want to get these going.
All right, you want me to go first?
No, I'll go first this time. I think you
Okay.
went first last like three
or four times,
months
yeah.
in a row. So mine says, "What a wild Super Bowl week."
Yes,
And-
it was. There were some crazy games.
Yes, there was. We're gonna jump into that right after Josh does his beer, but we got something even bigger than that to talk about this week.
Okay, all right. So my beer says, "Welcome to the third annual Benties."
Yeah. So
This is what we wait for all years, guys.
Yes, no. There's a highly confidential process that this goes through to find the winners of these Benty Awards.
Yeah, I think the auditing firm, the same one that does the Oscars, I think it's Deloitte and Touche.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't even know if I pronounced that right, but
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I.
But we got
pronounce it,
two
too.
armored cars outside, so
Yeah, so, but anyway, we'll get into that. Let's get these beers open first.
let's get these beers open
Let's get our guys out there and gals out there to sit back, pop open a cold one.
and enjoy the show.
All right. So, let's talk about Super Bowl week a little bit, real quick.
Okay.
Great week for fantasy. Even if it wasn't Super Bowl week, a lot of fantasy points, a lot of big plays, and a lot of controversial stuff.
There were a lot of fantasy points for certain players. Lamar Jackson, oh my God, 41 fantasy points.
Yeah.
CeeDee
Well,
Lamb, we both had him.
41 in your league. It was like more like 47, 48 or something in my league. So, yeah, huge points.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, same thing. Like you said, and to kind of coattail off of that, Dak Prescott also had a big week too. But it was all the CeeDee Lamb. So,
Yeah, so if you had CeeDee Lamb, you're playing against Dak, weren't you?
yes, as a matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned that. Because on that league, I also won the Super Bowl on that league. Give
All
me
right.
5 on that, bro. All right, so there's 2 championships for me this year, 1 for Josh, okay?
All right.
Not that we're keeping count, but I'm just saying. 2 Alan, 1 Josh. Okay, got it. All right, cool.
Well, one Josh equals two Allen, so.
Uh-huh, yeah, I'm sure it does. Anyway, and the one we won together, I'm glad that I was able to help you out.
Oh my God, stop it.
So no, but yeah, it was a wild week though. There was a lot of things going on this week. Like you said, some huge scores, some disappointments too, like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Went out early in the game with an injury. A huge disappointment there. But we had some surprises too. Out of DJ Moore, huge surprise there.
Oh my God, DJ.
This guy's just like phenomenal. If they don't draft Marvin Harrison Jr. in the first round, I'm gonna stop being a Bears fan. I'm done. That's it.
Can you imagine DJ Moore and Marvin Harrison Jr. with Justin Fields?
Yeah, and
I mean, what are the defenses going to do?
they can pick up linemen in the offseason and in free agency, and I mean, there's just a lot of possibilities.
If only they would have picked up Dalvin Cook too.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, big question there also in Chicago. Are the Bears going to keep Justin Fields? I'm going to tell you right now, before anybody says anything on this show, I'm going to tell you right now they are going to keep him. Why in the hell would they? If they don't keep him, I'm stop being a Bears fan. See a lot of conditions here. Why would they move away from a guy that they've already progressed with, showing potential? But they can get draft picks and get other. Why would you start all over with another quarterback?
Here's my take on it. Here's why you would start over, and I don't want them to. I want Justin Fields to stay. Justin Fields is out of his rookie contract,
Okay.
so it's going to cost their cap about $5 to $10 million if they keep him.
Okay.
Now, basically, think of this as a lottery ticket. Okay, so you have a winning lottery ticket. If no, we don't. If Caleb Williams or Drake May or Michael Penix is going to be the next superstar, then yeah, you'd free up that cap space.
Okay,
I would love you.
that's
They're
assuming
going to
that
have
you
to
know.
pay. They're going to have to pay Justin Fields next year,
Yeah, they are, and they should.
and I'm okay with it. Yes, I'm okay with it. But from all right, we're Bears fans. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, Alan. You know what's coming. They're almost as bad as Daniel Snyder when it comes to this. Money's an issue. So if they can save $5 to $10 million, maybe they will trade him. But I hope they don't. So
There's a lot of things besides just Justin Fields' performance this year that I say they'll keep him, and a lot of it. And I'm not going to go into all that because it's going to take a long time to debate that, and I want to get into that. But
and I'm with you. I want them to keep him. I do. But money is a big issue.
I get it.
And it always has been in Chicago. You know that.
I understand that, but I'm going to tell you right now, I fully believe that they'll keep Justin Fields. I don't think they're going to start all over. Virginia McCaskey's not going to live long enough to see that. So
is she even alive now? I mean,
I think she's been dead for a few years.
Is she in like cryostasis or?
Let's not do this because this is. Anyway, we're going to get sued.
What are they going to sue us for? We don't have anything.
They might take Whirly labels from us.
Well, great, because we owe money, so let them take it and pay the debt. So
we might have to give away our assets like these pieces of paper we got. Anyway, yeah. So back to the subject. We were talking about the Super Bowl weekend. Huge numbers out of a lot of guys. Great for some guys, some disappointments, but all in all, it was an exciting week, I think.
Yeah. There were a few games though that were pretty crazy in my opinion, and one that we can both agree on. What game was that, Alan?
The Dallas-Detroit game. That's going to lead us into what's got me bent this week because, okay, so I wasn't on the field. I didn't hear everything that was said, but I'm going to tell you this. That's not a mistake that players make.
No, not at all.
They all know their number. They all know that they're in the play, that they should be eligible in the play. So they all know this. This is not a hard thing to do. This is not something players screw up. Okay, this is something that referees should not screw up. And from everything that I've seen, it's been a referee screw up. So
well, let me ask you this, because I don't know how. I've never played professional football. I don't know how it works. So
I did. Go ahead.
No, you didn't. So you're like Mr. Glass from Unbreakable. Your bones are so brittle. But anyway.
No, on video game.
Oh, on the video game.
Yeah.
So maybe you know this. So when you have to report eligible, do you have to go over to the ref and say eligible? Or do you have to say number 65 eligible?
You have to give the number. So
you have to report your number?
You have to report your number.
Okay.
And the other thing, too, that I've seen is generally what will happen is players will do this. And they'll say their number as they're doing this. Okay. That's just to make the referee aware of, hey, this is me. This is my number. This is what I'm
doing that?
No. It kind of felt good. We go this way. It's even, no. Anyway, but anyway, that, and he did not do that when he reported, from what I've seen. So that's the only mistake I see. But that's something that the referees cannot screw up. Period. They cannot screw that up. Detroit should have won that game, and kudos to Detroit because and kudos to Dallas for holding on the next play. Okay, but that's a game they should not have lost.
Yeah, and we talked about this earlier. that game has huge implications. San Francisco locked up the 1 seed; they got the bye, so they don't have to play week 1 of the playoffs. However, if Detroit would have won that game, San Fran loses the next game, Detroit wins. Detroit could have had the number 1 seed. So
I mean, it's not they're not a shoe in to get it, but there's some things that got to happen. But it's not out of the realm of possibility either.
right.
So yeah, that hurts. That hurts.
Do you ever think you would ever say in your lifetime Detroit possible 1 seed?
No.
Or Cleveland possible 1 seed
Detroit hasn't won the division in 30 years, so no. No, I didn't think I'd ever say Detroit in the playoffs. But hey, hats off, kudos to them. They did it. So
well, as long as they don't defer in overtime when it's sudden death, you know.
Yeah. But the other thing too on that gutsy call by Detroit.
Very gutsy call,
and even more so that they did it twice. So hats off to them. They were out there to win that game.
Good execution too, because they got it.
Absolutely. So hats off to them. Fantastic job on that. But yeah, it happens, right? Let's mention something here that we haven't talked about. We usually talk about this early in the program. Like, subscribe, and share, guys. This is the last episode of Benton Fantasy Football until we come back the week before the NFL draft. We're going to do a show then and get it to you guys so you can see how we looked at the draft and what we were looking for and what you guys can give us your input on what you thought.
And I'll give you my opinions on the players based on their college performances that I watch, and Alan will probably not.
I definitely will not. So, are any of those guys in like any of these bowl games that the colleges have?
There's a couple left still. So.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's 2 games. There's 2 teams left.
I might have to look that up on the interwebs and find out which games those are.
I'll put it on the line. It's on the line.
Yeah,
so.
It's on the line. I know. All I have to do is get on the interwebs. I got it. Piece of cake. We didn't rip that off from any show.
I love you, but I hate you.
Okay, so speaking of that, let's jump into what we love, what we come to adore every single year. The best part of any fantasy football season, other than the draft.
Yes,
the Benties.
The Benties. So, now, we've done this the last couple of years, and like Alan said, there's some armored trucks out there with the results. So,
yep.
We've got 2 armored guards here, 2 armored guards there.
Yep. Since the results, like you said, are in the truck, they're going to mentally send the answers to us, and we're going to write them down on this piece of paper right here.
You're mental, all right, but...
And actually, look, it's starting to fill in now. The first one's already
Yes, it
done.
is, yes.
All right,
so that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, let's jump into it. And for those of you who aren't familiar, basically these are categories that we came up with, and you can tell so by
what they are.
What they are. And this is something that we have a lot of fun with every year, and it ends up being controversial. We usually argue about it for a couple weeks afterwards. So let's jump right into it. The very first category in the 2000, what year is this? 2024.
2024. It's the 3rd annual Benties.
Yeah, this is January 5th. We should write that down and try to make it around the same time every year. Anyway, moving on. Let's jump into it. What is the first category, Josh?
The first category is most improved player in a starring role. So, best actor for this year. What was your pick, Alan?
So you're gonna make me go first.
I'm gonna make. Okay. Well, yeah, I wrote you first. So
we're gonna argue about this, but my pick this year is Justin Fields, and the reason I say most improved, from a fantasy perspective, he is improved. Okay, with the passing game. That's huge. That's huge, right? With as a player, I think he's the most improved. Okay, from a mental perspective, from a physical perspective, I think he is the most improved player in the NFL. Period.
Okay, I disagree with you.
I know
he finished as a number 18 quarterback, but that aside, I picked Raheem Mostert. Raheem Mostert, we were drafting him, 7th, 8th round?
Yeah.
Well, we weren't drafting him because we said we would never draft him again because he screwed us the last couple of years. He finished as a number 3 running back. I mean, come on, man. I mean, he was just prolific this
And,
year.
and again, this is through week 17. We haven't done week 18.
We're gonna assume that
All these numbers will hold.
all these numbers will hold.
So
Yes. Well, Fields could get the number one quarterback if he throws for 8,000 yards and
yeah, but he might actually throw for under 200 again.
drop to like 20.
Yeah, see, hey, 32 quarterbacks in the league. Just saying.
Oh my
Just
God.
saying.
All right, so the next category, and this one, God, this hit us both close to home.
This is
Biggest disappointment in a starring role. So worst actor.
yeah.
And
Why don't you go first?
I'm gonna go first. Alexander Madison. I had huge hopes for him. Dalvin Cook thrived in that Minnesota offense. You know, I thought that offensive line was better than they were, and apparently they're not.
See, the beginning of the season comes around, and I thought him to be a kind of a mild sleeper. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
obviously going to be the featured back, you would think, or and
Well, he was until he got hurt.
right. But you expect some numbers out of him. It's one of those things you take a shot at it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
But yeah, I mean, it proves that more so that Dalvin Cook is that much more talented.
Mm-hmm. All right, so mine for this category, and this is a tough, jagged little pill for me to swallow, but
I think everyone can agree with you on this one, though.
Austin Eckler is my pick. Man, I was so big on him at the beginning of the season, so big on him because of his durability, because they had an awesome offense, and then the offense fell apart, and the wheels just fell off the cart with him. He was dropping passes. It was painful to watch. He did have some good games. It did put up some fantasy points, but nothing.
I think he had 5 or 6 out of 7 games where he scored less than 8 points a game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Number 29, he was being drafted as number 2 behind who? CMC?
Yeah.
Yeah, as a running back. So
I was right on that bandwagon when it went by too. So yeah, he totally got me this year. Just like Christian McCaffrey got me the last 2 seasons.
Mhm.
But yeah, so he's gonna have to step his game up. I don't know how old he is right off the top of my head.
I think he's 29.
Is he? Okay, so he's near the end of his career anyway as far as effectiveness for running backs. They usually drop off about the age of 30. So 29, 30, right in that ballpark. So
Yeah.
all right, let's get on to the next category.
All right, so this is the most improved player in a supporting role. So this is like best supporting actor. This is a guy that maybe you didn't think you had high hopes for, but just surprised you. And I think we can both agree on this. We both picked the same guy.
Yep.
Who is it, Alan?
Puka Nacua.
Oh, you said it right. Yes, Puka Nacua.
Was there any doubt?
Where did he go to college?
At Puka Nacua University.
BYU. So Puka Nacua out of
that's
BYU.
That's short for Puka Nacua.
This is
University.
amazing, guys. He's a number 5 wide receiver right now. He can break the wide receiver rookie record here. I think he needs to get like 45 yards or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's not very much. It's definitely within his grasp for sure.
But God, I mean, Puka, who could have seen that coming? He wasn't even drafted.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Neither was Kyron. So
Right?
yeah. So this category kind of pains us because these were guys we had high hopes for, and we drafted them, and they didn't really do much. So this is a biggest disappointment in a supporting role. So worst actor.
Yes, worst actor. Go ahead.
All right, T. Higgins. I mean, I love Chase. That Joe Burrow offense, we thought that was going to be prolific, just amazing, put up record numbers. T. Higgins through 17 weeks, 126 points. That's less than 8 points a game. Come on.
That's bad.
I mean, he was being drafted in the 2nd to 3rd round in fantasy drafts.
And he's a free agent this offseason too. It's really surprising too for somebody in a contract year. That's really really tough to pill to swallow for him. He's going to take a hit on his salary for that.
Yeah. So what about you? Who's the worst actor?
Hunter Renfrow is my pick. The reason is I had kind of a sleeper kind of hopes for him this year because everybody looked away from him. I thought maybe there's a chance there because they do have, they have some, they have Devontae Adams. They do have some talent on the team. They just didn't make it happen this year.
Yeah,
That
I
team
agree
just
with
fell
you.
apart. That just fell apart. The wheels fell off that cart a long time ago.
And he's not even in the top 50 receivers right now, so that says a lot.
Yep.
Now, the next category, best play calling. Now, I think we've talked about this, and we went back and forth. We have disagreements about this.
Yep.
Who's your best play calling?
Mine is the San Francisco team in general.
Okay.
So, did I put I put the offense on there, but yeah, I mean in general, their defense is solid too. But in general, the thing is, if you watch San Francisco, you watch one of their games, you know they're gonna run McCaffrey this way, run McCaffrey that way, or pass McCaffrey, whatever the case may be. On top of that, they have a couple studs on the outside too.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, so they've got a lot of weapons on that team. But when you watch how they use McCaffrey, the way they handle the ball when they toss it to him or when whatever the case may be, the way he handles the ball is just it's so relaxed, like he's been doing it for 30 years. It's just so easygoing. San Francisco understands that when they see him in the lineup and he's doing things like that, they understand how easy that fits into everything else and opens everything else up, right?
Yeah.
They've done a great job with that, and I hope McCaffrey is definitely healthy going into the playoffs this year.
I do too.
I want to see San Francisco at their best.
I do too. And this is going to be a little off the wall, but best play calling, the Rams offensive coordinator play calling. Here's the reason why. So you got Kyron Williams, who we both picked up, wasn't even drafted. The guy finished as a number 2, actually, at this point through 17 weeks, running back, fantasy wise.
Mm-hmm.
You know what though? He missed 4 games.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Awesome? Can you imagine if he would have not missed those 4 games?
Funny little story about him. The week before he came back from injury, I actually picked him up as a free agent.
I know you did, Alan, and I hate you for that because I wish I could have had those opportunities in my league. So. But the Rams offensive play calling, I mean, they're giving him the ball, they're feeding him, they're pounding it with Kyron. It works. It's been working. They won 6 out of their last 7, and kudos to you. So the next category, and this, you're gonna hate me, Alan, and I hate myself for even saying this. But this is worst play calling, and I'm gonna tell you why. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, the Bears brass. Yes, the Bears are vastly improved. Okay, but they lost 4 games this year. They would have been 12-5 if it were not for those 4 games. They were leading by double digits in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. We've talked about this throughout the year many times about how their defense their offense is one-dimensional when they're up. Okay, and they're content with running the ball. Let's run out the clock. Well, you can't run out the clock if you keep going 3 and out, and then you allow the other team to score on every possession. So you can't be content with the lead is the problem that I have with the Bears. And they got too content. 4 games, up 10 points. What was a Detroit game? They were up 13 with 2 minutes left.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me weigh in on this because this is near and dear to my heart, right? So Luke Getsy is a problem here, okay? He needs to go away. I'm sorry.
He does.
Any Bear fan that doesn't agree with that, I'm so sorry that you don't understand how football works. But but Luke Getsy is the problem here, okay? The Bears actually, man, and I'm going to go back to the beginning of the season. I said the teams that I thought would be the most improved at the beginning of the season, right?
I said the Bears.
I said the Bears was one of them. The other one we won't talk about, Carolina. But they improved from shitty to really shitty.
You picked a rookie quarterback, just the wrong one. So.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, moving on. Let's so the Bears have improved significantly, okay? no thanks to Luke Getzey. His play calling this season has been absolutely terrible. Absolutely
It has
terrible.
been. Yeah.
Now, the person he'll probably get the axe at some point. I'm guessing. The playbook isn't bad. I don't know what's happening between the playbook and what's happening on the field, but somewhere in that area, something's lost, and Luke Getzey's in the center of that.
When the Bears have the lead, they seem to take the conservative approach with play calling, and I don't like that.
Right.
I mean, they need to make calls based on the talent that they have.
Well, and you can't call a screen every play either. I mean,
Well, you can't.
I totally agree with getting the ball into your playmaker's hands, and you should be doing that. But you can't throw a quick out to Komet, then throw a quick out to DJ Moore, then throw a quick out to Khalil Herbert or whoever. You can't keep doing that the entire time. Yes, they're going to break some off. They're going to get DJ Moore. You put the ball in his hands, magic happens, right?
But you also can't run the ball like 15 times straight,
Right.
5 3 and outs. You
Right.
know what I mean?
I understand that. So yes, I'll say that you're not wrong about that, but I'm going to say it's not the Bears brass in general. I'm going to say it's Luke Getzey.
Okay, I gotcha.
All right.
So who's your worst play calling?
The Kansas City Chiefs, and it's not just for this season; it's for the decisions they made over the last few seasons. It has been terrible. So
I agree with you on this one.
think about this: they get rid of Tyreek Hill, right? They get rid of, they lose Eric Bieniemy, okay, to somebody else, and
They wouldn't have lost him if they would have paid him.
So who do they bring in for a offensive coordinator?
Matt Nagy.
Okay, so have they never ever seen Matt Nagy in action in Chicago? That's my question. Okay, because come on, you know, going from Eric Bieniemy to Matt Nagy is like going from a Cadillac to a 1972 Dodge. Okay.
Or a bike with a flat tire.
Yeah, 2 flat tires.
Yeah.
Let's just say it. But on top of all that, the Chiefs can't even hang on to the ball right now. And I don't know that that's necessarily something that's a physical challenge. I think they're in their own heads on that one. I think they need a coach that's got to bring them out of that. That's all there is to it. And,
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, he wasn't the one to do it. He couldn't do it in Chicago. He can't do it here.
Reed can, but
I mean, in their credit, they actually finally got rid of him and fired him, but little too too late, you know.
Yeah.
It was a bad mistake in the first place. But in general, I mean, they're taking talent away from their own team and bringing crap in. So that needs to change.
Yeah.
Maybe they should actually suit up what's-her-face, that one girl that's dating Travis Kelce, whatever the hell her name is.
Oh, no. She would catch every ball, so... Shut up.
Moving on.
Shut up.
What's the next category, Josh?
The next category, this is like the creme de la creme. This is the Best Picture Award. This is the Benty MVP. There's a reason we're saving this one for last, so...
Yes.
I don't think there's any argument between us. I mean, you guys have seen it. The Vegas Sportsbook have him at minus 1,100 now, which means you got to put $11 down to win one. It's Lamar Jackson. I mean, you've seen what he's done with this team.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the number 1 seed in the AFC. Alan and I were talking about it before the show. They may not have even made the playoffs without Lamar.
Yeah. Especially with Mark Andrews going down this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and think if he was in the lineup, think of what that offense would be like. Oh my God. Just
they put up
unstoppable.
56 on Miami.
Well, they're
Come
unstoppable
on.
now, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And they beat some good defenses. They've beaten some good quarterbacks on other teams. I mean, they just dominated. So, like you said, man, I am kind of surprised they only have 3 losses, or they have 3 losses, I should say.
Yeah.
So
Lamar.
Lamar
This is our favorite category of the year.
Yep.
Do you wanna announce it?
All right, I will. All right. This year, as we do every year,
This is like the Arthur Ashe Award for the ESPYs Humanitarian Award, but the opposite. So
anyway.
Oh my God! Shut up, Alan.
This is the Urban Meyer Anti-Humanitarian Award. Almost couldn't say that. Anti-Humanitarian Award. So, I'm going to let you go first on this one, Josh, and talk about who you got.
Okay, I got David Tepper. I mean, how can you pick anybody else? I mean, the Carolina Panthers owner, you made some bad decisions this year. and your team sucks. You know, fans are booing you right below your luxury box. You throw a drink on them. Now, no. Think about this. There's a few ways you can think about this. I mean, yes, if I threw a drink on you, you'd be like, "What the hell?" and you couldn't see for a sec. But think about this.
Kick your butt.
You probably would not. Maybe in Tecmo Bowl or something. In the post-COVID area, in the current COVID area, who the hell thinks that that's okay to throw a drink on somebody? That's actually considered assault in the state of North Carolina, guys. So that's a first-degree assault. So I don't know. I don't care how bad your team's doing. Fans have the right to boo you, okay? I mean, especially the decisions you've made, the coaching decisions you've made. To throw a drink on them and then run away back to the door of your suite.
And you know they paid money to get in there. You know you don't, man.
And here's the problem I have with that is he got fined $300,000. Okay.
Wow.
That's BS. Okay, I can say shit, right?
Yeah, sure.
That's bullshit.
I said shit twice earlier.
Yeah. That's bullshit because the Jags owner did this and got a $250,000.
Somebody edit that.
The Jags owner did that and got a $250,000 fine. So you're spreading germs. You're assaulting fans that are paying to come to your games. I just have no tolerance for that, and I think the NFL, the $300,000 fine, that's bullshit. And
we can say shit, but you can't say bullshit.
Oh, you can too. That's cow shit. How's that?
That's better.
All right.
Thanks for cleaning.
All right, Alan, just go ahead. Tell me
right.
who you.
All right. So my Urban Meyer Award this year is for Alan Williams. And nobody knows the whole story behind what happened, and we probably never will. At least the general public.
We have a pretty good idea, though.
But yeah, something crooked was going on there. I don't want to get into the details of it. But the one thing I will say is at least he got out before it affected the team too much. Yeah, there was some spotlight put on him, and I'm sure it was one of those things where we're going to need you to go ahead and resign as you're cleaning out your desk. So please make it quick. But anyway, so Alan Williams is my pick for that. The former defensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. But that being said, as Sugar Ray plays us off here from the Benties. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But, guys, we really appreciate you. We do this for us, but we also do it for you.
Us
like,
first, though.
There's no benefit for us. We don't.
Oh, that's right.
This only costs us money every time.
That's right. My electric bill went up way this month.
Alan has like a $2,000 electric bill. No,
It's
I'm
just
just
these
kidding.
2 lights.
Yeah, I know,
I
right?
don't use any of the electricity in the house. But anyway, no, we really do. We appreciate you guys watching, like, subscribe, and share, all that stuff. Thank you so much. We like Josh says, we do it for our own amusement, but we also do it for you guys too. If you guys didn't watch it, we see how many views we get on it and that type of thing. If you guys didn't watch it, we'd probably still do it, but we wouldn't have as much fun doing it. But we do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And we are going to come back to do another show
In April. Soon.
right before the NFL draft, like we talked about before, and we're really looking forward to that. You're actually going to hear me talk about college football, Josh. Isn't that going to be cool?
Yes, and if you want to talk about your favorite NFL team, like what your draft prospects are, I will probably go more into depth than Alan, but
No, I go deep, man.
you don't even know the college players.
Yes, I do. That guy from USC, me.
All right, I think it's past our bedtime.
It is definitely past mine. So, guys, thank you so much, and until we see you in April, go get bent
on fantasy football.